Hello, everybody. My talk will be far less technical. There's a possibility that I'll make a technical addition towards the end, as I'm promising here, it's going to be a myth, okay? It's a very liberating word, okay? It means that it doesn't even have to be true, as there is, as long as there is some internal consistency, okay? So that's, of course, every creation myth, as you know, usually has a deity, okay? So in our case, Kenaro has to do, okay? So I met Kenaro in 1983 when I became his colleague in the Operations Research Department at Stanford, and I'm incredibly fond of this person, this man, and indebted to him. Okay, I was immediately impressed by his grace and generosity. But at some point during my first months at Stanford, he invited me to lunch, and at the faculty club. And during the lunch, he took out of his, his jacket's breast pocket 2 folded papers along the long side, copies, and gave them to me and said, "I think you should read these papers." So it came to my tongue. It was at the tip of my tongue to tell him, "I'm not a graduate student, buddy, okay? I was a new full professor, okay? So I was, but I said, okay, this is Kenaro, okay? And I read these papers, and it changed my life, okay? There were 2 papers. I'm not going to tell you the authors, but they were carefully selected so that they were on great topics, and they were very poor papers, okay? So it's the perfect thing. Is the perfect thing you give the graduate student, right? And I was blessed that Kenneth Arrow chose me for this, okay? So out of these 2 papers and subsequent interaction with Ken, incidentally, let me finish about Ken Arrow. I don't know how many of you know, but in 2016, months before his death, when we had this program at the Simons Institute on economics and computation, we were very lucky to have Kenneth Arrow give the opening talk of that. Okay, so some of you may have been present, but it was an incredible experience to have. Okay, so a very moving experience. So out of this came my first thoughts about algorithmic issues in economics. Bounded rationality, you probably don't know what it is. It was a big problem in economics at that time, and it turns out, with Yanakakis, we found out that complexity can help to fathom it. Cooperative games and complexity. This was probably the first AGT thesis by Deng Xiaote at Stanford, and the complexity of Nash equilibrium. He planted the seeds for me to look into this problem. So a second sort of precursor, a second demigod in this creation myth is Nimrod Megiddo. Okay, who was an AGT researcher in the 1970s. Okay, so he was a game theorist who was also a computer scientist and was writing papers in both fields, sometimes in the intersection in subtle ways. Okay, but he was another big influence on me, because we started thinking about the complexity of some of these problems, and we realized that this issue is complex enough, is subtle enough, that we must come up with new concepts, and together we define this class TFNP, okay? And that has proved, of course, to be quite useful in this realm. Okay. Then I moved to San Diego, I met there. We became very good friends with Joel, a famous economist, as you know, who indoctrinated me we talked a lot about social choice and its extensions to mechanism design. And at that point, we wrote an NSF proposal to study sort of algorithms and VCG mechanisms together. Okay, so but most of our discussions were about much more abstract concepts of mechanism design and impossibility results, and then sort of existence theorems in special cases and so on. But this is probably my only NSF proposal that was rejected. Okay, and then things happened. The Cape server conjecture. That I moved to Berkeley, and then I was reawakened to this problem by Noam's work. And then, of course, the huge thing that happened is the internet, okay? Which basically shook all of us, okay? It was the promise, you see, read on the right, okay? The promise of this thing was so immense, okay? That basically a lot of us said, listen, okay, so far we have been doing stupid things. This is something which is going to be very liberating for humanity, okay? And we should be able to, leave what we are doing and start working on this, okay? All computer scientists, many computer scientists, idealists like me, had decided at that point, okay, that this is our problem, our research, okay? And by the way, my political life has been a chain of stark disappointments, okay, but none tops this, okay, so that this promising thing has become sort of a tragic caricature, okay, so which if you are there are books with titles like Surveillance Capitalism and Capital is Dead, This is Worse. That say it much better than I could. Okay, so in any event, back to 1995, the internet had arrived, and computer science has changed. Okay, because you see, believe it or not, I don't know. Looking around the room, I don't think many of you remember. Many of you know, but for the first 40 years, first years of computer science, we were actually studying the computer. This thing, okay? Like, yeah, and it was 1995 that we said, no, computer is just the lucky gadget that brought us to the internet, okay? And this is the artifact, okay, that we have to study. And basically, and therefore, computer science from an engineering field has become a natural science, okay? Because basically, it has studied something that has not created, okay? And has emerged. And also, it's also a social science because first of all, incentives are important, and the internet is about people. And if you understand people, you don't understand the internet. Okay, so that's it. And of course, this is how this is what I told you is the prehistory, and you know the history, and I'm not you are the history, and I'm not going to and my three co-speakers in this session told you a lot about the history, so I'm going to stop here. Okay, that's the creation myth. Okay, I guess we could finish by many people who know me know that I'm a rather sane individual. I have a paranoia with airports, okay? So with flights, okay? I don't want, I have never missed a flight, and I don't want to. Okay, so I have a flight soon, and that's a huge test for me. Okay, I'm going to curtail my talk in order to be more safe with my flight, and now I decided that I'm not going to. Okay, so all right, all right, they talked about the past. I talked about the prehistory, and I'm going to say a few things about the future. Okay, others work on profits, okay, not me, all right? I mean, but I mean, don't take them as prophecies. I mean, for example, I'm not, the first thing I'm going to tell you is that by far the best predictor of what are the good things to be working on in AGT is the program of EC'23, right? Because and watching what's trending in our community. But let me say a few obvious things which are happening, which are trends in our community. Okay, but basically, game theory and economics is about rational agents, rationality, and it interacts beautifully and very productively with machine learning. Okay, so that what is happening in AI these days, which is amazing, puzzling, outrageous, and all that. Okay, it's an incredible scientific phenomenon that our community can and should engage with. Okay, and this is happening. Okay, there is so my work has been in this interface for several years now. Okay, and this is an amazing front. Okay, this interaction, this interface. Fixing injustice in games and AI. Okay, this is again something that we have been doing. Okay, fairness or privacy are important themes in what AGT has been doing, and inequality. Okay, this is something that I believe is investigated less. Okay. Inequality, I believe, is the scourge of our time. Okay, so there are. I mean, for example, there is we have a result with Georgios Piliouras and others that is not has not been invited in this forum, okay, or similar fora, but we managed to publish it anyway, it basically points out that a lot of mechanism design that in some sense there is an inherent trade-off between mechanism design and equality. The more efficient the mechanism, the more inequality, income inequality it introduces. So in a quite general setting, having to do with congestion gains, but but we have it there as an interesting warning sign. Okay, so here is something which is my own peeve. Okay, I believe. Okay, we all we are economists. We all know what the theory for the firm is. Okay, it is a bunch of theories that try to explain why we have companies. Okay, companies, firms, corporations are deviations from the market. Okay, I mean, in an ideal market, you don't hire workers and have contracts with suppliers. So individuals hire workers and get and buy in the market first, and they produce and sell. Okay, so why this deviation? And there are many theories. And this is a huge part of this used to be a big part of economics. And I believe that what is being created in the internet is something new that is not explained by any of the existing theories of the firm. Okay, and this I believe is something that is a theoretical front that has not been explored. Okay, so at all. Finally, as you know, I have been interested in the mass equilibrium. How much time do you have? 0 minutes. 0. So this was my entry to something more technical, but I'll just say that I gave a talk at the reunion of the games and learning program at a month ago at Simon's, which is available online, where I'm proposing a new way to understand what the game means. Okay, and this has to do with dynamics. And basically, sort of, to tell you, to give you 10 seconds of advertisement, basically, this solution concept comes with polynomial time algorithms, okay? And all right. So, thank you very much. Thanks all of you. Thanks the people who inspired me and the big guy that I shared this prize with, okay? Well,
because we're way over time, maybe I'm not going to allow these people to ask questions, but Christos is around for lunch, I hope? No. Okay, then we can take one question.
I came out clean for you. With you.
One question, okay. Bernard, oh, sorry.
So AI models are now very successful but very complex. Should we try to focus less on proving things for simple models and more on things that are more practical and more actually used rather than theories?
Yes, I mean, this is, yes, of course. I mean, we want to prove things, and we are proving things. I mean, there is a lot of work proving things. I don't see much interaction between this and game theory, okay? But I mean, there are other things like valuation and value assignment to the pieces of data, okay? In other words, this, ChatGPT gave you this brilliant answer, okay? For this, it also read your book, okay? How much does it owe you, okay? I mean,
Okay, I think I want to end by actually repeating that we want to congratulate or thank both Noam and Christos for both the groundbreaking and seminal work they have done over the years that inspired, I think, all of us, definitely me personally. So congratulations again.